Hello, Collective, and welcome to the Humble Sage. If you're new here, please be welcome. Thank you for joining us, and if you are returning, thank you for supporting my channel. You're very much appreciated. Collective, as I was shuffling, a wolf came out, and instinct, and then wind activation. It's interesting, Collective, you know? There's a second time today that I started a reading and didn't put the camera on. There's a message in there somewhere. Let's keep going. Let's have a look. If you do enjoy this reading, Collective, please consider subscribing to stay updated for any future developments. This is a general message collective, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And it's also a timeless message, so whenever you find it, it's for you at that time. Have a look. This wolf kept on coming out as well. It feels like following your truth, collective. You know, the wolf in the wild, they hunt for themselves, they find somewhere to sleep. It's certainly self-resilience, Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got the Six of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Sun. And the Chariot again at the bottom of the deck. You know what I'm feeling here, collective? Is you're on a new journey. It's something where it's some new endeavor, and you've been called to the universe to move forward with it. This is part of your alignment. It's part of your destiny here. This wisdom that comes from Hokmah, right? The first emanation with the two here, you know? It's like the beginning process, this fresh manifestation. And it's going to lead you to victory somehow, you know? Because here, this new endeavor is something that's close to your heart and perhaps you put to one side. Then we've got the Ace of Cups and the Sun. So it's certainly something that's got the firepower behind it. It's something that maybe you've been mulling over, or something that you've thought for a while, do you know what, now it's time. And so you've begun. This feels like you've actually started it somehow, or you're just about to, because we've got activation here. So certainly the energies are in process, even if it's in the earlier days, it's movement. It could be something like the movement of your heart. Your heart is calling to get started, so you get started with plans. Maybe your heart's in it, and you've decided, well, okay, now it's time for the planning. It could be those earlier stages. Perhaps you're further down the process, you know? This is beautiful energy to start out the reading because we've even got Cancerian energy here, you know? We've got balance. We've got the forward movement of your heart's desire. And you are being protected by the universe with a canopy there. It is something that's protected by the universe. Good for you, collective. Good for you. Right? Let's keep going. Because, we've got this Knight of Cups here next to the Ace of Cups, and I'd like to see more. The Eight of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups. The Lovers. And the Queen of Swords. The Four of Swords. Ten of Swords. Chariot again. Six of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles. And the World here. And the Magician on the split. Wow. You know what, collective? Look at that. This is growth here, right? For those of you who have started the project, or maybe at the beginning process even, there is some aspect that is reaching your higher self here, because this level of self-love and wisdom from the universe is what is helping you to speak your truth. It's something fresh that you're constructing, and it will be seen by others here. Perhaps you've been working on it behind the scenes and now it's ready to be shown to the world. Although it might be in its infancy, it's still something that is growing and developing. And it will grow at a rapid rate here because you've got the lovers. That's connection with the higher powers, right? The choice card here is Gemini energy, you know? Moving forward down here, we've even got the Chariot and the Six of Pentacles. So this is something that will be, it will be profitable. It's something that is going to take a lot of work, but is going to grow nonetheless. Because when we've got this rest period here, don't forget that rest is also a part of the journey. So perhaps as part of the message here is that as much as we take action, as much as we plan, we also need to allow the process to carry on. We need to allow Spirit Divine to work behind the scenes to bring that energy up to creation level. This Ten of Swords here, this could be something relating to your past. That is to say, perhaps you're writing a book or something that you didn't have the opportunity to do in the past. And now you finally have the opportunity to do it. The universe is bringing this into alignment. It's something here that's not just being balanced out, but feels like something that possibly was taken from you. And now you have the opportunity to bring it back. That's an interesting message. That's very interesting. The opportunity to bring it back. Something that was taken from you, something that left you in this stage and you had to heal from it, right? But now the universe is saying here, now you can charge forward with your manifestations. This could be something like, say now you were held back for whatever reason, life has its lessons, life is not always hunky-dory, right? There will always be issues and whatever comes up, right? But the universe is saying now, look, these planetary energies are now in alignment. So here we are, and this looks like a table to me, like, being sat at the table, like something's been handed to the other person. Now the universe is saying here, now it's time. This is the reason why the manifestation couldn't happen in the past, but you'd follow those signs and synchronicities. So now we're bringing you, what's that, 11 Pentacles, right? We're helping you to create. So know this, collective, whatever happened in the past, it was meant to be. Sometimes the universe says, look, it's not time for that manifestation yet because there's healing or a situation needs to be in some way amended. It's like something like that. If we get hung up about something, collective, because say it's something mentally that we're hung up on. Well, if you're mentally hung up on something, you've got all of that baggage going on. It's kind of difficult to process other things because how can you have a plan if you're consistently thinking of other things? If you're trapped in a web somehow, you need to get out of that web, get out of that mindset, and back to the world. But you need that time. It's not that you failed. It's not in some way that you are behind. Not at all. Because if you say you're behind, that would imply that you are looking for perfectionism, that you're comparing yourself to the journey of others. And that's not the case. That's not even what this looks like. It feels like somebody has learned their lessons here. They've learned these emotional lessons. And indeed, the mental lessons as well with this queen. They're speaking their truth into the universe, connecting with the universe to, how can I put this? To manifest positively, not necessarily positivity. That's what you do. You wouldn't have got to this point if you weren't understanding your own nature, right? But to manifest positively is also to how you speak to yourself, right? How you like even internally, it all matters. It's all energy. So perhaps you had to get into this energy of clearing those energies so that you could say, yes, I'm worthy. Yes, I'm love. Yes, I'm strength. Yes, I'm prosperous, instead of being in perhaps a heartbreak energy or in a state of grievance or something like that. But it certainly looks like whoever this reading is for, you've certainly healed from that situation, like you're all healing from it, Good for you, collective. You know what, actually, I feel like using the angel deck. Wherever you're seeing this in 2024 or beyond, collective, I hope you're doing well, and I hope your year's going all right for you so far. If you are going through a difficult situation, Just know that this could be saying that you are being moved into calmer waters here, and you're moving into alignment. So no matter how difficult things may seem at the moment, things are working out. The universe is working behind the scenes. You're not alone even, you're not alone here. You are being watched over by the universe and being guided, Spirit Divine has got your back here, right? Up here we've got the devil, Samael, right? There's something here about being guided towards perhaps something to do with an esoteric path or something like that. Like maybe you're diving deep into esotericism or more into a deeper spiritualism, right? Like maybe you're looking deeper into the darker side of Buddhism, perhaps, or something like that, where it looks not just into meditation but also lessons and aspects of meditation, for example. And by darker, I don't mean he collective. I mean just the deeper aspects of it that we don't see in the mainstream media. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, the moon. Indeed, like I just said, it's more to do with perhaps the Gnostic side of whatever tradition you're looking into. Those deeper aspects that really dive into those waters. Like, because you can look at things on the surface and you can see like a reflection, right? But when you go deeper into that water, you find so much more, right? And that speak about yourself, because really it's a journey of yourself for yourself, and you share that knowledge with the collective, right? It's all a part of the whole, your evolution, even if you don't speak to anybody else. There is such a thing as oneness, so as your soul evolves, that vibration is there, still feeding into the collective. There's an element with this Ace of Swords here, right? There is a truth here that's coming towards you, collective. And it could be something like you have the ability to speak to people. Like you have the ability to make friends easily. I can certainly relate to that. That's a skill that I had since I was very younger. I I like being around people. I like people as much as I appreciate my solitude, being the lone wolf. It's always good to engage with the world, and I just naturally speak to people. There's no chip on my shoulder or anything like that. Ace of Swords here with the Six of Pentacles. Like I said down here, something is balancing, and it seems like it is something with your heart. Your heart space you need to heal in order to properly receive from the universe. And there is a level of divine grace here when we look at this and this put together. These aspects that come together here, right? There is a level of healing, a level of being, I don't like to use the word cured, because that implies that you had some sort of disease in the first place. And I wouldn't say that life's lessons are a disease, or, no. I mean, maybe it is speaking, maybe somebody here was being unwell, and that's the reason why you couldn't manifest. But now you're coming out of that. I wouldn't even say the depression is a disease. I don't like that either. Because we all go through states where, our mental health can go up and down. You wouldn't say that someone's diseased because they have anxiety. Well, no. They're going through whatever situation they are, but they are not in control of the situation, and that can be difficult for everybody. As in, for ourselves. I'm not saying that you're being difficult for others, collective. Don't ever think that, you're a burden on other people. We can all think like that sometimes. We've got this sun over here, collective, right? And we've got the Three of Swords that goes with it, and that's interesting to come out here. Healing from this heartbreak. On this card, it actually says love and submission, which is interesting for the Three of Swords. That's Saturn and Libra. And it's very powerful energy because on the Justice card, on the scales, one side of it is Venusian energy and the other side is Saturnian energy. Right? And it is about love and submission. It is about submission to life's lessons, healing and growing and developing throughout the process. Using, how can I put it? It keeps going back to this self-reliance. It keeps on going back to, we think to ourselves that maybe, I don't know, the universe is going to come riding in on a horse. But that's not realism. Like, you are your own knight in shining armor, collective. We pick ourselves up. And, as I always say, we learn from people with more experience. We can reach out to other organizations. We can, in some way, have that initiative to step forward. But in the first place, you need to say that you're worth that even, you know? With this Eight of Pentacles, we've got the Ten of Cups. It could be that someone is working on that someone's working on their happiness. And that they are actually putting, they are being prudent with it. That you have overcome whoever I'm reading for here, it does feel like you have put some extra effort into it, and that's good. Because the universe, what you put in, you get out of it. So as you put effort into healing, even on days when you say you don't want to open the curtains, or you don't want to leave the house, or, on those days even, that's still a part of the healing process. Because at least you got up and got out of bed. At least, maybe you had some food or whatever, at least you did something to help yourself. The body still needs to function within this realm, The mind will become disjointed, emotions will be off if you don't consume nutrients. But a level of peace is being brought to you here, collective. Yeah, and the Hermit, some alchemy, this transformative nature that's happening at the moment is actually bringing out some spiritual progress. And that's very important. It perhaps is something the world can actually see now. Because it's not that we have these things on show, we just go through life humble in nature and, we just do our thing. But when you can see here that indeed your efforts are coming to fruition, people do see that glow up. People do see that you are in a happier state of mind, that you are feeling better about yourself, and you do have a level of self-confidence that's returning. This Eight of Pentacles here has come back. So there's a link here between these two. Whatever joy that you're bringing, you're actually finding it from a higher state of mind, right? It is actually coming together. And the Eight of Pentacles came back. Interesting how they all just came back full circle, right? That's very, very interesting. Because whatever your intellectual talent is, it's helping. The intellectual talent that you have could be something like you've learned how to find the correct information on relieving your depressive state, or ways to calm your anxiety, even in a very busy public space. That's part of your intellect, that you're able to help yourself in that time. And indeed, then you can share it with other people. You might see somebody else, maybe you're in a queue somewhere and they're very anxious, and you may just do some breath work with them. As weird as that sounds, it is doable. There's nothing wrong with just being a decent human being and helping somebody else, The Lovers we've got here with the Ten of Swords, right? Some revelation is coming to you, and it's a revelation to do with an ending, it looks like, because it could be something like you've learned how to protect yourself from certain situations, like internal situations, like how we respond to situations instead of reacting, right? So with this Lovers here, the revelation could be an actual fact that you're not in a broken place, and you've learned how to flow with the universe, right? Up here with the moon, indeed, how your emotions, the ebb and flow of the universe, the ebb and flow of energy, that it's not happening at you, but it's actually happening for you. And when you learn to flow with the universe, then you can say, right, well, now, indeed, the next two cards that came out here, because this came out with the Queen of Swords, right? With the Five of Cups. So there is something, like I said earlier, about following the signs and synchronicities. And that's what's being shown to you here. And you're taking a stand with that, collective. It seems like you're taking a stand with saying, right, this is my truth. Right, you're not putting it in people's faces, just this is my truth, right? And I'm stepping forward. And that could be a part of this drastic revelation. That actually the universe will work things out as we want, and no matter what happens, whatever desire you have, the universe will bring to you. Maybe it's, with the Lovers here, this could be that maybe you're on a twin flame journey or something, and you've reached a point of healing, right? And you say, well, the universe works things out the way that it does, and you trust in the universe, you trust, and you say, well, we can't control other people, we can't control situations, right? But we can control ourselves, right? And especially here with death and this Four of Swords, it certainly feels like there is some influence here on your health, that this death and rebirth, this glow up that you're having is seen by many. And most definitely you're actually recognizing it yourself. You're able to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm all right. And that's a good thing, collective. That's a good thing, because it can help others. I know it seems like I speak about helping others a lot. That's just something that I'm passionate about. But it does, just naturally walking around. You never know who that smile may help. You never know the knowledge that you have, how that may assist somebody. You know, not and that's life. You know, we don't know what's around the corner. But certainly temperance here, with this alchemization here, this energy, with you working on self here with the four and having this break from the world, you certainly figured out how to alchemize your energies and how to balance yourself to find reconciliation within a situation, like within yourself, right? And that's part of, if anyone's here on a twin flame journey, that is a part of the journey. When you find reconciliation within yourself, right, then you start to flow with the universe much better. Nice. I think a clear mind collective is one of the biggest blessings a human being could have. And I mean that, right? I really, really mean that. I remember years ago when I first started meditating, and I just, I wasn't even 5 seconds in, and my mind just filled with, like, wow, right? And I just couldn't, it was crazy. Everything that I'd suppressed came to the surface. And so then the journey continued for years and years. And you know, when you reach a point where you can sit there and meditate with a calm mind, and stuff will always come up. That's life. Like, that's life. You know, we don't, for those of us who do not live up in the Tibetan mountains, you know, life is life. There are so many energies around us, particularly if you live in a town or a city, right? There will always be energies that affect you, electronic energies, you know, noise pollution, whatever it may be. Even the food that we eat, like processed food, can affect our energies. But if you can find some level of peace, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, or do breath work, a silent mind, even if it's one breath with a silent mind, wow, you know, the peace that you feel after it. Let's have a look at this here. The Chariot with the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles, and the King of Wands with the Five of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Whatever this manifestation is, collective, whatever this renewal is, it is still in line with the universe. There's so many majors that came out here, right? You're advancing forward with some serious progress, and it feels like those life lessons that are within your heart has helped to clear Anahata so that the energies can actually flow through all of your chakras clearly. That you understand what affects each chakra and how you can help to heal each chakra, cleanse each chakra, and temper your energies as a whole to keep your aura in a calm state. Right? With the Page of Pentacles, even with this six, like I said earlier, this looks like a table, like something's been handed. And this card says loyalty and allegiance, friendship and reconciliation. Right? For me, this card, Page of Pentacles, also speaks about being able to meditate on your environment because they're holding their pentacle in their hand in the Rider-Waite deck. You know, being able to observe your environment, but it first starts with yourself, that studious energy. Why am I responding the way that I am? Why am I reacting the way that I am? You know, instead being able to look at it from an analytical standpoint, and that can be your intellectual process here, your talent. You know, everyone has the skill to reflect on themselves. It's just how you go about it. Everyone has a different thing. Some people may be maybe into art, so, or maybe they're into writing. And we take it a step further. Maybe some people do automatic writing with their subconscious mind to figure out what's happening in their subconscious mind. Perhaps some people paint and they try to understand their dreams. You know, and the process continues, like however you feel you want to express yourself. And that could be a part of this process here, that you're actually finding your flow with the universe. And that was the reason why whatever manifestation there was, why it had to be put on hold, is because you had to understand yourself a little bit more, especially here with this King of Wands, you know. It can be that you're learning not just your creativity, but to be a visionary within your own mind. Who am I, and what am I doing here? You know, it's interesting, right? They sit there like, universe, hi, yeah, it's me again. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, but if you could give me a sign, you know, yeah, and this Eight of Wands, you know, this communication energy, you know, certainly being passionate about the universe and passionate about the communication that we receive, right? The downloads that we receive from the universe, those instinctual hits that we have. And it seems like for somebody, this has been activated full throttle. And that's very, very interesting. That's really, really interesting because we've got the mage here, right? And the world. This is a new cycle for somebody here. And that's awesome, collective. For you to overcome or begin to start to overcome, or maybe you've overcome something and now it's on time to move on to another cycle of healing. Whatever's happening, just know that it's your journey. It's not a race. We give ourselves a privilege to heal, and so too, then we're not selfish. We give other people their space to heal, their space to grow. You know, we forgive and we move forward. That doesn't mean to say that you have to be, for lack of a better term, a mug, right? If you feel that people have wronged you along the journey, collective, that doesn't mean to say that you owe them forgiveness. It doesn't mean to say not at all. But if you can find it in your heart to forgive, and by say owing forgiveness, I mean when people present to you and in some way they try to make out like you should be forgiving them, and it's like, well, no, I mean, no, because that's still manipulation. Because if there's no change of behavior, then you're just being manipulated even more, and that's kind of sad, you know. But it's okay. At the end of the day, if you're manifesting your truth, good for you. You know, there's certainly some Pisces energy out here, which is beautiful. I love working with Piscean energy. We see how by cleansing those waters and by following, we can be in tune with our sensitive nature. And by doing so, that can help us to create our truth here. You know, there are a lot of mages out here. So we're certainly looking at drastic life changes. Well, not drastic per se, but certainly life changes that you are seeing on the surface. They're not necessarily internal. You know, the devil, the moon. We've got the Ace of Swords, the Hermit, Death, Temperance, Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers, the Chariot, the Sun even, you know, the Sun with the Three of Swords, there's some healing here, you know. And this red flag could be indicative of the Malkuth, right? Relating to the base chakra, Muladhara, right? How you found grounding here and rerouted yourself within this realm. Beautiful, collective. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get one of these Namaste decks. Namaste cards from the Namaste deck. If you have enjoyed this reading, collective, please consider subscribing. You'll get more updates on daily inspirational messages. Sunlight blessing. A ray of light bursts through the cloud of uncertainty and darkness, transforms to light. A new day is born, and the first buds of spring appear. You are blessed with the birth of something new. A new season of your life begins with very special blessing. Nice, collective. So what I'm saying about this healing process that is all meant to be. After all, the sun isn't beaming 24 hours a day. The Three of Swords is not going to be around forever. The sun comes up, it waxes and wanes, the moon waxes and wanes, you know, rises and falls. And that's life. When you flow with it, we create those tools in the process and we don't feel so uh, like tagged along by the universe. We don't feel like we're just being, dragged along in the background, but instead, actually, as much as we're having the receptivity, we're also able to take meaningful action within our lives, inspired action. Especially here with the King of Wands, is definitely inspired action. When we look, especially with creatives, a lot of creatives don't know why they create. They just create. They love it, and that's awesome, collective. That could speak about this. Be your own creator, the co-creator of your existence, the God of your reality. Flow with Spirit Divine. Well, thank you for joining me, collective. It's not, I didn't expect the reading to turn out like this, but awesome. I'm glad. I hope this message has helped somebody along the journey. Well, as always, collective, thank you for being here. And always, take care of yourselves.